What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to, as promised, because I promised this yesterday, another episode, another one. And this morning we have a nurse, as you can see in the headline. And if for some reason you're maybe driving and listening to this, we have a lot of people who listen to the show every morning on their way to work, on their way running errands, exercising, washing dishes, taking care of their kids, keeping them alive if they're watching them at home. That's what I always say when somebody drops a friend off their child to play with my child. I say, well, I'll keep them alive. But regardless of what you're doing out there, welcome to the show. And this morning we have as you can see, full-time nurse and mom launching a thriving online business. Please help me welcome in the comments a warm, legendary welcome. What's up, Yolanda?
Hi, good morning.
How you doing, and where are you calling in from?
I'm from Westchester, New York.
Okay. How far is that from Jamestown?
It's pretty far, I think. I've actually never been to Jamestown.
Yeah, most people haven't. That's where my mom grew
So
up.
I'm like 45, maybe like 40 minutes away from the city.
I'll name another little town in New York that you've probably never heard of. New York State, Bemis Point. You ever heard of that?
No.
That's another tiny little town there. It's on a lake called Chautauqua Lake. And I used to go up there and visit my aunt during the summers. And we'd drive up to Buffalo and watch Fredonia, actually, and watch the Buffalo Bills training camp. This was back in their heyday where they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Remember that? Yep, that happened, and that was making history.
I don't really keep up with football. I watch Super Bowls, but that's about it.
Well, we're doing good down here in Tampa. I don't usually tune in either until the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady's keeping us all engaged down here. So we stole him from up there in New England, and we've got him down here in Tampa now. So so anyway, speaking of, domination and crushing it and, living out your dreams and winning championships, you're winning a few championships in your life here recently as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us how you found Legendary and basically what led up to you even being open to learn from us and to go through our training. How did you get here?
So, actually, I always knew that I didn't want to work for the rest of my life, but and I tried different things in the past. Like in 2013, I tried a network marketing company. My uncle got me into it, and I was really excited. I tried it for like a year, but now I look back and I'm like, okay, I did that the complete wrong way. At one point, I think I went to the Bronx, and me and my boyfriend at the time, we just kept handing flyers out the entire day to invite people to a meeting. No one came. Eventually I gave up, and then...
Did you listen to yesterday's episode?
No, because no, I didn't.
I went into all my network marketing horror stories, but go on, continue.
So I ended up going back to school for nursing. It's actually my second degree. But and I like the profession, but it is very stressful. And in the back of my mind, for since 2013 up until 2019, I knew that it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. We have one life, so I knew I wanted to do something more with it. So but then what happened was I had my daughter in 2019. So on maternity leave, every single day I used to just think about the fact that I have to go back to work. And I was just like, if I had a choice, I wouldn't, go back to work and leave my daughter at home. Right. So I started looking for ways to make money online. Just like a lot of other people, I just typed in Google how to make money online, and a lot of different things came up. And the first thing I found was Shopify. And I actually paid for some courses that didn't turn out very well either. And what happened was I built a Shopify store. It was a bunch of Disney products. I said, let me do a mom and me like a Mama Me kind of clothing store. And I put a bunch of Disney products in there, but I didn't know anything about copywriting, infringement or anything like that. So when I, dug deeper into it and found out I can't do that, I took the store down, and then I tried different, I tried different things. I even tried after the Shopify store, I tried Amazon FBA. I didn't fully try it, but I looked into it. I paid for a course for that. The course really didn't provide much information. So anyway, fast forward to like now, my daughter just kept me going. But then I ended up, getting pregnant again with my Irish twin. So I have 2 kids under 3. And when I was on maternity leave with him, because I'm going to rewind a little bit. So I went back to work with my daughter, and I kind of fell off trying to make money online because it just kind of got hectic being pregnant again with the kid. And but then when I was on maternity leave with my son, I said, I'm not going to let this, get in the way of, my financial goals. I really do want to pursue it, and I'm not going to use the fact that I'm a mom of 2 as an excuse. So I just said, you know what, no matter what it takes and no matter how long it takes me, I'm going to pursue this. And I started to hear about digital marketing, but I didn't really, I couldn't fully dive into it because I didn't really know what it was. So long story short, I tried Etsy. So that was the first time that I started to see a little bit of success online, was with Etsy, but I kind of attribute that to the holiday season. I started late in 2019 while I was on maternity leave with my second. It was like a, what do you call it? A print-on-demand Etsy shop.
Okay.
And I ran into some problems with it because I had to front the cost of the products first, and then Etsy would pay me after. So then I was like, what's the easier way to do this? So then I heard that you can put digital products on Etsy, and I started to do that. But every single day I would Google and YouTube how to make an Etsy shop. Affiliate marketing. So every day I would say affiliate marketing in YouTube. And these different videos would pop up, but nothing that was like really clear, something that I could really follow and say, okay, I can really get into this and know what I'm doing. And then I didn't have a TikTok yet, but then I came across a video one day when I typed in affiliate marketing of, actually, I know a lot of people on here know her, Stacey La. And she, so I saw her video and I said, there has to be a reason why this particular video popped up, because it was from 3 months back and most of the videos that were popping up were very recent. And I was like, okay, this one's coming in front of me. Let me watch it. And that's where it started. And then I found Legendary. And then I just really, really just liked the whole, I guess you could say, the culture of it. I've taken courses in the past, and this was the first course that I took that made me really want to go through each day with like excitement. I was just like, I can't wait to get to day 3, day 4, day 5. I've never taken a course and felt like that before. So I was just really excited about this whole, this particular venture.
What do you think was different about Legendary and our training and other things that you've experienced in the past?
It could be the fact that it first and foremost, it could just be the challenge itself, just like the way that the challenge is set up. But there was so much value just for the $7 that I was just blown away. Like I've paid, hundreds for courses, and I never got as much value as I got in the $7 training. So I was just blown away by it. And I also, to be honest, I also took to your spirit, because I heard your story and I was just like, wow, that's really amazing. Like just the fact from where you came from to where you are now, it was just so inspiring. And the community that you built is just so, it's just so easy to to find someone if you need help. And, with other programs, it's like crickets when you need help. You can't really find.
Yeah.
So that's what I found different. I found that just the community, the fact that you're here every single day showing people that regular people can do this is just really amazing to me. So that's what I found different.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. And yeah, it's easy to belong here, I think is a way that I hope people feel. I hope people feel that it's easy to belong here, that you don't have to, you don't have to have certain experience. You don't have to look a certain way, sound a certain way, be from a certain place. But somebody said, "Hope you feel better, Dave." Thank you, Yolanda. There's a Yolanda out there in the comments. You probably can tell I'm having a freaking allergy attack here. I was up at 4:00 in the morning. I couldn't breathe through my nose. And us men, we're a lot whinier and weaker than women when we get sick, so I'm I'm just whining over here. My wife's doing her best to take care of me, but so that's great. I'm glad that you feel like it's easy to be here, and you're motivated by you're still motivated. I think a lot of people have tried different things in the past. You almost, I'm working with my son right now on doing some copywriting and learning copywriting, and it's interesting because you sort of described the typical avatar of somebody who's interested in making money, like a business opportunity seeker. I had the same exact journey. I did network marketing after network marketing company back in like 2009, and did all the same stuff that you just mentioned. I mean, I put signs in my yard. I remember I used to live on a main drag street, and I thought, I finally realized, I was like, oh my God, hundreds, thousands of people drive by here every day. I'm going to put a sign in the yard, and I got my own billboard here. And I'd wake up every morning and some kid had walked down the street and kicked the sign, and it was in the road, and ripped it up and tore it in the garbage can. And, I couldn't even afford to keep signs in the yard because they were like $5 a piece at Home Depot. But, none of that stuff worked. But I kept trying. I kept going after the dream. And I wonder if you could describe what that's like, because there's people, and I saw some comments, and I just know who we are. We never give up, but also it begins to feel heavy, like maybe we'll never succeed. And we become scared. And there's really no way to succeed if we lack confidence and we feel badly about ourselves. We have to keep our spirit up. We have to continue to build our confidence, even if we don't succeed in past ventures. So how have you been able to do that through past failures? How have you been able to keep your spirit strong and still continue to go after your dreams, and even find the motivation and the self-esteem and the confidence to now do this venture, which you are finding some success with?
You hear these things where they say you have to have a strong why, and everything happens at the time it's supposed to happen. Because, like I said, I started my journey, I guess you could say started my journey in 2013, but obviously I fell off. But I didn't have a strong why back then. I thought I did, but if I did, I guess I would have kept going at it. When I had my kids in 2019, that's when I was like, I don't care how long it takes me. It's either I do this for the next 3, even 5 years, or I'm going to be on my job for the next 40 years. And I don't want to do that because, like I said, we only get one life. And I just feel like we weren't placed on earth to do that. And, there are some people who are okay with that, and that's fine. But for people like me, I just think just having that strong why is what keeps you going. That it's possible. You see people doing it every day. And that the only way that you fail is if you give up. So that's what keeps me going. Knowing that I want to provide the type of life that I guess I didn't get to have when I was growing up for my kids. It's just having that why.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just talking to my wife about
Mm-hmm.
that of the idea of giving our kids something that we didn't have. That's a strong motivator. You know, that's a
Mm-hmm.
strong motivator. I like that. I think that you know, we've been told that for many years, especially if you've been
Mm-hmm.
around network marketing and stuff. Find your why. Find your why.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's kind of like sometimes when you hear people talking about like praying, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or finding God. You know, the way some people describe it, it's almost like they actually saw a burning bush, and so all of a sudden now, you know, you're walking around looking for a burning bush, and you're going, well, you know, I can't find God. You know, I don't see any burning bushes. Where,
Right.
you know, maybe you might realize that you could find God just sitting under an oak tree at a certain point in life when you just stop comparing yourself to others. So I would like to say to everybody listening that you finding your why does not have to look like somebody else finding their why. It does not have to sound like somebody else finding their why. And you can evolve your why over time. You know, you might start building your business because you want to provide for your family, or you might want to give your kids something that you didn't have. But your why might become that you just don't want to quit
Right.
because you've given up on things so easily in
Mm-hmm.
the past that you want to do it for yourself. Now, you speak about my story in my past. At first, I wanted to get clean from drugs and alcohol in
Mm-hmm.
2008 because I wanted to stop going to jail. That I wanted to stop having consequences, right? But I eventually wanted to stay clean because it gave me a life, a quality of life. It gave me a self-esteem, a feeling about myself that I'd never had before. So that motivation, that desire for why I was doing it evolved. And I think we have to give ourselves permission for our journey to look unique and to be our own. And I think so often we can even listen to an inspiring show like this every day where we hear
Mm-hmm.
from different people, and every day, because we're so hard on ourselves, we can walk away saying, well, my story doesn't sound like Yolanda's, or my why doesn't sound like Yolanda's. We
Right.
really just have to give ourselves permission to eat the meat, leave the bones, and kind of walk our own journey. Does that resonate with you? And was there a certain point where you said, I'm going to stop watching everybody else. I'm going to stop comparing myself to other people in social media. I'm just going to put my head down. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. Did you have a moment like that, or a time lately or recently like that? And sort of what did that look like?
Yeah, because when I first started making videos, I had a previous TikTok account. Actually, I had two other TikTok accounts. And the first one, literally, when I posted something, it wouldn't even get past 7 views. I don't really know why, but I tried it for like 2 weeks at first. And then after 2 weeks, I started another account. And then this account ended up blowing up, but it was not my business related. So then those viewers weren't interested in what I was posting. And then I started, my videos started to, it stopped reaching the For You page. And then followers were like dropping off like flies. So anyway, I was comparing myself in the beginning to other people who post. And I'm like, well, why am I not getting the same results that they're getting? But I also have to I started to take into account the fact that our stories are not the same, our lifestyles are not the same. So I just had to focus on what I was doing. And so, yeah, I stopped comparing myself to others because it can kill your motivation when you do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you find inspiration and ideas for marketing and content without getting sucked into comparisonitis?
Well, first of all, I think the TikTok algorithm really knows my weakness, which is music and dance. And that's just, I get sucked into that. And sometimes I have to stop myself and be like, okay, I'm not here for this. But, but in terms of comparisonitis, like I said, just realizing that everyone's story is different. I have two kids under two. So a lot of times it's really hard for me to even make content. I am consistent with posting at least 3 times a day, but it's still a challenge because what a lot of people might not know, may probably figure it out after I say this, is if you see my TikTok videos, at least one of my kids are on my hip, just out of the frame in my videos because I have like very extra loving kids. So I guess you can call them clingy, but so one of them are like with me in the video.
That's all I'd say. Just say they love their mommy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it can still be a little hard to be like, what works for some people may not work for others. Like just the way that some people deliver it is not going to be the same. So just have to remind myself, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I relate to that because there's these algorithms. Gosh, we could go down a rabbit hole with these algorithms. And Facebook right now is facing a lot of heat over their algorithm. There was recently a woman who worked for Facebook who blew the whistle, who now is coming out. She's actually testifying in the Senate today, right now, starting at 10 o'clock, I think. And she's talking about how the algorithm feeds division. It feeds and creates an echo chamber of the same. For example, say you have one political view, it just continues to feed you the same content of that same viewpoint. So you just get more isolated and more even angry at the opposition, right? And so, anyways, why do I say that? Not I want to digress, not because of politics or anything else, but because the algorithms are, even though they're artificial intelligence, they're not really that smart. They basically just feed us what we show them that we want.
Right.
And it's not, they're not like these super, they don't have emotions and reasoning to say, oh yeah, I mean, this person clearly is doing make money online stuff. So let me give them a little bit of classical music. Let me give them some dance. Yes, I'll sprinkle in some make money online. No, you're just going to get make money online stuff all up in your feed all the time. So every time you go on the app, it's going to feed you just that stuff, and it's going to make you feel like the market is saturated, and you're going to hear a lot of the same things because it's going to feed you sort of what you're searching for and even what you're posting about. One of the ways that I combat that is I have multiple accounts. Like, say, for example, on Instagram, like I have an account that's totally dedicated towards wristwatches. So a lot of times I just go on, and that account, because I post and search and follow people all that have to do with wristwatches, that's all that account sees and shows. Like on the For You page or Explore page, on the feed, the stories, it's all just nothing but wristwatches, right? And it's a very isolated kind of, existence within that account. But I sort of, I have to run my business, not let my business run me. And part of being in business and doing digital marketing is being online and being on the platforms that I post on, that I market on. But I have to do that in a way that where I'm using the platform and the platform isn't using me. And so what does that mean? Well, a couple of things, give you a couple of strategies, just the audience that I've also done. I've back a little while ago, about a year ago on Facebook, I was getting inundated with just unbelievable bull crap. I'm talking about everybody's political opinions, everybody. I mean, it was toxic. And so I spent, you know how we have that addictive nature to just pick up our phone and pull up an app, you know? So I noticed that about myself. And every time I went on Facebook, I would just scroll and unfollow people. So I spent about 2 weeks doing that, and I unfollowed thousands of people. So now when I go on Facebook, I don't have to use any apps. I just already spent a couple of weeks. Literally every time I went on, I just unfollowed people. So I'll go on and I'll see our group post, and I'll see the kind of things from the people that I still want to see. Instagram, I followed everybody. I don't use Instagram much to market on and so forth. You know, and my marketing strategy is one in which, at least me, now everybody has a different marketing strategy, right? But I'm going live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm very dialed in, very focused. I have a system to be able to do that. We post it on YouTube and podcast and on our blog. And I don't spend a whole lot of time in sort of getting caught up in research and development, where I can get in to start saying, oh, my show doesn't have that, and it doesn't have this, and oh, that person's is better. And I just focus here on serving my audience. And that's really helpful. So I just, for those of you who are feeling that pull to, you know, get on and get lost, and then you find yourself at the end of the day, what did I really get done? Well, I actually got sucked into a TikTok hole looking at other people's content for 2 hours and comparing myself. And now I feel like shit, like I'm not good enough, you know? We have to have boundaries, and we have to be on purpose with our time. Now, you said that you have your daughter on your hip. How in God's name are you balancing? Are you doing this? Let us understand. Just give us a few tips to be able to work as you have a full-time job. You have kids that love their mommy. When you're home, they want to be around you all the time. How are you finding the time? How give us.
Well, to be honest, that's how I find the time, is by having her on my hip. Because to be honest, like I said, she's extra lovable or loving. So if she sees me doing my TikTok videos, she wants me to hold her, or she'll cry. And then if she's crying, I can't, especially if I'm gonna do a video where I'm talking, I can't really do that if she's crying. So I just have her on my hip, and she's out of the frame, and she like mimics. She'll mimic me in front of the what do you call it, the lighting. And sometimes I do have to, if I'm talking for a short while, I have to say, shh, quiet for this one, quiet. So now she's telling me to be quiet whenever I talk.
Wow.
So that's how I do it. It's either her or my son. I have them on my hip.
And how old are both of them again? So
she's 2 and my son is 1.
Oh goodness, good God. We have a 9-month-old at home and a 5-year-old, and I just 10 months. Excuse me, he's 10 months old. I don't want to take any time away from him on this earth, but yeah, he's 10 months old. I can't imagine. Kudos to you, and it really gives us an example of integrating your business into your life, which is something that you can do nowadays. I think we all want more of, and it's just, how do we do it? How do we make it work? And you give us a good example of how to do that. So thank you. Is there anything else because I feel like I want to be very respectful of your time. You're a very busy person. Is there any other tips or things that you want to say and leave us with that might be helpful to people?
Well, so when I tried to build my second TikTok account, I just wanted to give a little. It's just, well, they probably already know, but just my little tip is just be careful what you post. One, because TikTok is like very not kind to some of their creators, and they'll like take certain videos down, but also just be mindful of the type of followers that you're getting, because if they don't engage with your post won't reach the For You page anymore. And it's, especially if you have a lot of followers, because TikTok gauges how your current followers interact with your posts to see if it's good content. And it could be good content, but if you attracted the wrong followers, they're not going to engage with it. And then it kind of messes up the account. And the problem with TikTok is it seems like it's just a little bit, even though it's easier to grow on TikTok, it's a little bit harder to revive a TikTok account than it is like an Instagram account. So
and we've seen that. We've seen that to a lot of marketers in our community. You know, we've seen people sort of take off into the stratosphere and then have a hard time getting that particular account revived. Now, doesn't mean that your business is over. Doesn't mean that life is over.
No.
Doesn't mean that you can't succeed. It just means that you have to learn to again, work the system, not let the system work you. So what are some of just a tip or so or two that you do to engage your followers with the videos that you post?
So everything is trial and error. And so going back to what you asked me about not getting sucked into a comparison hole, a lot of those videos I take as inspiration. So I look at what's working and I try it. And if it doesn't work, then I try something else. But I do follow some of the tips that we got through training here, and try to put an engaging headline in the TikTok video. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I had myself muted, so I wasn't sniffling all up in the microphone. Engagement is pretty key on all platforms. I mean, all platforms are going to grade you higher, your piece of content higher, and show it to more people if there's a couple of criteria that are pretty typical, I think, on all platforms. Number one is watch time. Do people watch the entire video, or do they drop off halfway through? If they drop off halfway through, that tells the algorithm that people are not engaged in the full piece of content. Therefore, it's because you got to think about TikTok, YouTube, Facebook wants to keep you on the platform. So they want to put videos and content in front of you that other people are watching all the way through, because you're more likely to watch that piece of content all the way through versus a piece of content that people are not watching all the way through. Also, that people are liking or showing any reaction to. So they're hitting the like or heart, or on Facebook, they're hitting the sad or angry, and also commenting. So by asking questions in your video, by asking people to leave a comment down below, what is your reaction? What do you think about this? Would you say, is the sky blue or purple? Let me know below, right? I mean, those, and also go to my link, follow me. And if you want a free ebook about how to make money online, click the link inside of my bio, or whatever your niche is, of course. See, I can give people multiple calls to action without making it overwhelming and confusing within just 5 seconds there at the end of the video. And, if my video is about that topic, and then it asks people, you ask people, what do you think? Or the video sort of indirectly invites their opinion, because that's why people are on social media, because they want to leave their opinions. They want to react. And so I also think that one other thing is we need to be open to negative feedback and even the hateful comments, because as much as they may hurt, right, if we want to take them personal, they are also in a different way, they're helping our videos, because they're creating emotion in reaction. I don't know if you want to.
TikTok values watch time more than anything. They value it more than likes and comments, and even shares, because I've gotten videos that have horrible like percentage compared to the views. But if the watch time is very high, they'll just keep showing it to more people. So just a way to get people to watch the video at least, all the way through, or at least most of the way through. If it's like a 7-second video, TikTok wants watchers to watch it all the way through, or else they're not going to keep showing it to everyone. So just keep the audience engaged, because watch time is like the most important with them.
Yeah, and it's probably, I would say, the most important on every platform.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you're not watching the video all the way through, it's the number one indicator that it's sort of like a movie. If you
Or
turn it off
clickbait
in the
or
middle,
something.
if you turn it off in the middle of the movie, it's clear that you weren't interested in the movie.
Right,
So,
right.
well, anyways, I look, you're busy and you've delivered and given us a lot this morning. Thank you for letting us into your life and your business and your home and sharing with us about your journey. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to staying posted and updated and having you back if you'd be willing. And thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
All right, Yolanda, we'll talk to you later. All right,
All right, bye.
see ya. All right, my friends, you can follow her at Rose, ROSE underscore Yoli, YOLI. That's Rose underscore Yoli, YOLI. All right, we will be back for another episode. As always, baby, tomorrow. Take some action and think about some of the things that I said here, and also that Yolanda said about finding your why and allowing your journey to look unique to yours. It doesn't have to look like somebody else's. And also consider ways to integrate your current life into your business instead of trying to keep everything separate. That was inspiring to me, hearing her talk about having her kid on her hip. If there's a will, there's a way. Stay legendary. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here and have a great day. Peace.